everyone. Welcome back to my podcast, Household 6 Goodies. My name is Amy. I'm coming to you from Montana, and it is Monday. Oh, let me look at the calendar. October 27th, 2025. On today's episode, I'm going to do a sock roundup for Socktober. So this episode will have almost all of the socks that I've knit as the time I've been a knitter. So let's get started. This pair is a pair I knit a really long time ago out of patent stretch sock. I don't know if they make it anymore. I made them for my son. As you can tell, they're pretty worn, but they're hanging in there. They've been through the washer, they've been through the dryer, and they've held up. I think at the time I was knitting these, I was knitting on them on a size 2 maybe. I'm down to a size 1 now because my gauge has changed over time. I knit these magic loop. 2x2 cuff is usually my go-to. This looks like a regular heel flap and gusset. And yeah, I knit those a really long time ago. The same with this pair here. It is knit out of the same yarn in a different colorway. I think the colorway was licorice. And it's got like this like elastic stretchy stuff. It was patent stretch. I don't think they make it anymore. You might be able to find it on like Etsy or eBay or something. And this pair as well has been through the washer, the dryer, beat up by kids, and is still hanging in there. Okay, next. This pair is a shorty pair that I knit for my daughter a long time ago out of Lolo Did It. The white colorway here is Wake Me Up, and the pink is Material Girl. And I knit her a pair of shorties, which now she's big enough that she'll probably steal mine. I have another pair knit out of this same yarn. I knit a pair for myself. And my pair has a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Oh, so does hers. So she has contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs. Mine did not. And it's the same. It's the Wake Me Up and the Material Girl. And these were knit on Chaogu 9-inch circulars in a size 1 US 2.25. And like I said, my daughter's probably going to steal this pair because her pair is way too small now. But as you can see, little kids, rough and tumble, these have also been through the washer, the dryer, and other than having a little bit of pilling on them, they have held up. Next, I have, this is one of the first pairs of socks that I ever knit in Indie Dyed yarn. This is Turtle Pearl yarn, and I don't remember the colorway. These were knit on Magic Loop, size 1. The pattern is Vanilla Bean, I think. It's got this like slip stitch pattern that goes all the way around the sock. It has a Fish Lips Kiss heel. And these were knit for my son, one of my sons, a long time ago. As you can see, they have some pilling. These as well have been through the washer, the dryer, through little kids, beating them up. The kid that these were made for is now 18. So he had them a long time ago, beat them up. They've been through his sister. She's wore them too. And as you can see, the color has held up, even going through the washer and the dryer. Again, I knit these, if I remember right, toe up. In the beginning of my sock knitting journey, I was not a fan of cuff down. I don't know what it was. I didn't like knitting the cuff. And so I would knit everything toe up. I use a rounded toe if I can find the pattern for the rounded toe that I use, I will list it. Then I use the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I believe this pattern is no longer available online. I tried to find it the other day and I couldn't find it, even in my Ravelry store. In my Ravelry library, I couldn't find it. So I don't know what happened with this one. But yeah, this was, I think a 75-25, if I remember right, merino nylon blend. There's really no felting. There's, like I said, some pilling because they're old and probably need the gleaner to go through them. They've been through multiple kids and they're hanging on. The next pair of socks, these are in no order, they're just whatever I'm grabbing from my pile of socks over here, is a sneak peek. I finished my October chart for the Color Summerly Co. Design Co. October 2024 chart. It was the apples. And I finished them. So you get a sneak peek of these before my regular podcast. These are knit top down, like she calls for in the pattern. I have a little longer cuff. I have a 20 round cuff. These are started off 64 stitches on a US size 1, 2.25 Chow Goo 9-inch circular. The colorway is a Lolo Did It Club colorway from 2020 from the Hippos for Littles celebration. This is Honey Crisp is the red, and then I have some scraps that are the brown and the green. And then I do a rounded toe. And yeah, those knit up pretty fast. I'm still having some issues with color work. It's I have a little bit of tension issues. I can get them on, but they're a little tight. But then I have an issue because I start off with a smaller here, then go to a smaller needle here, then go to the larger here, and then back to the smaller. But then these end up a little big, but then I still have a hard time getting them on. So I'm not sure what I'm doing with my tension, but over time, I'm sure it'll get better. This is my second pair of Colorwork socks. Next, I have more Lolo Did It. These are a club from the Hippos for Littles. I don't remember which month. They're also, this is the August Colorwork Cuff Club from Summerly Design Co. from 2024. I did the toe in the same color as the flowers. I believe it's the cuff that she calls for in the pattern. It was like 10 rows or something like that. And then this was my first attempt at color work on socks. And these, I have the same issue. I can get them on, but it's kind of tight in one spot. So I'm not entirely sure. They have been washed and blocked. So I'm not entirely sure what is going on. This colorway here is the mini that came with this. And it just so happens on these last two pairs of socks that the Colorwork Cuff Club, that the contrasting mini has worked for the color work. So that's fun. I'm getting to use up those. I still have a few more of the club from that year to use up. Next is this next 6 pair are Lolo Did It. This pair is also from the, let me put these on a sock blocker. This is from the Hippos for Littles as well. I don't remember which month, but I do remember the pattern on the sock. This is the contrast, this orangey peach color in the toe, heel, and the cuff. It came with the main skein here. The pattern is Blueberry Waffle. You can find that on Ravelry and other places. I love this stitch pattern. It's like gives a good crinkly sock. I have an Eye of Partridge heel and a rounded toe. And these worked up pretty fast. The blueberry waffle socks, as you'll notice, I have multiple pairs. I have knit this pattern probably 4 or 5 times. I really like it. And I actually have a pair of socks now that I cast on the other day that are the blueberry waffle pattern. I just like the texture that it gives. And this is probably one of my favorite colorways from that club. Then we have, I believe this one was March. Oh, nope, this one is not from that club. This one is a hippo, though. This is, if you're not familiar with Lolo Did It, she has hippos colorways, and she used to do, I don't know if there has been any lately, but she has hippos for something. So the gray here with the speckles is the hippos colorway, and this one is hippos for St. Patty's, and it's from a long time ago. It's from like 2016 or 2017. It's from a really long time ago. And the heel and the toe are in a little Lolo in Shamrock, I believe is the colorway. And I knit these my normal 9-inch circulars, 20 round cuff. I have no idea how many rounds I did for the leg. This one has an afterthought heel and a rounded toe. And these look like, I don't even know that I've worn these before. They look like they've never been worn. All right, this one here is another club colorway from the Hippos for Littles. This is one of my favorites. It's purple. I love purple. And the cuff and the heel are done in the contrasting color, which is this pretty purple. It's getting kind of blown out. I don't know. My lighting is not great. The outside weather is not so good. And then this is the hippo colorway. I don't remember the name. I'd have to go back. If I can find them, if they're linked, I think they're linked on my Ravelry. I'll just link the pages there. But this one's got like pinks and oranges and purples. And these are a normal, this one I think it has, let's see. This has a 10 round cuff, and then the 2x2, 9-inch circular, regular leg, you know, your straight stockinette leg. What is the heel that I did here? It is it's like a fish lips kiss heel, but it looks like an eye of partridge. It has some like texture on it. These have been worn so you can see they're kind of, you can see the texture here. If I can remember the heel, I will link it below. I think it's something like an eye of partridge. It's got the texture of the eye of partridge, but it's in a fish lips kiss heel or like a short row heel. I've done it a couple of times. This pair here is another pair from the Hippos for Littles. I believe this one was the March one. And so it's a shorty. I don't typically do shorties, but I don't know why this pair I did. So it's got a 20 round cuff. You can see I did this one magic loop. That's why I have my little line there. I always have that when I knit magic loop. I don't know. I've tried forever and I don't know what it is, but when I knit magic loop, I always get the little join. Even if I pull this one or pull that stitch, for some reason, I always get the join. So these are just like a pair of shorties. Out of that colorway, I have 2 more. This one is from the Hippos for Littles club as well. It's purple. The pattern is, I believe, Pebbles by Mina Phillips, the knitting expat. And these are shorties. The heel, toe, and cuff are the coordinating mini that came with the hippo for that month. And I really like the purple and how this purple blends in here. And the texture is fun on here. It's a simple pattern. Mina has some patterns that it's just a little bit of patterning on the front. So if you were trying to kind of dip your toe into some textured knitting that isn't really hard patterns to memorize, this one is good. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss Heel on these as well, as you can see. A trend. I'm not really a fan of the heel flapping gusset. I will knit it, and when I do knit a heel flapping gusset, I do like the Eye of Partridge. I just like the texture it gives, and I just like the way that it looks, but it's not my favorite. I just recently started doing the shadow wrap heel, and I really like it. Very little math, easy to memorize, and I like it, and it fits well. This next pair is a Hippos colorway as well. As you can tell, I like the Hippo colorways from Lolo Did It. This one is Hippos for Easter from, I don't know, it was like 2017 or something. It's from a long time ago. And you can see it's got pinks and greens and yellow and this yellow pop of color at the top. And the heel are done in, I believe it's Bumblebee is the yellow. And this is a Fish Lips Kiss heel, rounded toe, 20-yard cuff, or 20-row cuff. So, and also the blueberry waffle pattern. So as you can see, it gives great texture. If you've got these little speckled yarns and you don't know what to do with them, they're really fun. And it just gives it a really squishy feel and texture. So there's those. And I just work the blueberry waffle pattern as is. It's actually written for DK weight, but I always knit it in fingering weight, and it comes out just fine. So most of these were knit quite a while ago. So that is all of my Lolo Did It. I have more of her yarn. I really like Lauren's yarn. It's fun to knit with. It's really soft, good quality yarn. And I have a few more of the Hippo colorways. I'm trying to work my way through those. So let's keep going. I have quite a few more pair. This pair here is from also some of my first indie dyed yarn that I ever bought. It is also Turtle Pearl Yarns, which is a yarn dyer out of Canada. I bought them a really long time ago. This is their merino cashmere nylon base, and this is in the Dream Room, I believe is the colorway. This white stripe here, this stripe here that looks a little light gray is supposed to be white, but they were knit for my son. They got thrown in the wash, as you can see. They got thrown in the wash, the dryer, and the color bled a little bit, but he didn't care, and it was fine. It was a long time ago. These have a afterthought heel, and they've held up. They actually fit me now, so now once he grew out of them, they became mine. And yeah, they're super soft. I love Turtle Pearl's colorways are so fun. And when you buy the yarn from them, I haven't in a long time, but they used to come in 2 50-gram skeins. So that's fun. So then you can have matching socks. So you can try and match them up the best you can because they come wound up in 2 50-gram skeins. The next pair I have is a pair that is opal. Again, these are all listed in my Ravelry, in my Ravelry notebook. I knit most of these such a long time ago. These are pretty rustic feeling. Opal is a pretty hardy yarn. Rounded toe. This one looks like it's like a 25 round cuff, the leg, Fish Lips Kiss heel, and yeah. So there's that pair. That's what they look like off the blockers. These have held up again. They've been through the washer, they've been through the dryer. I know you're not supposed to do that, but they've held up pretty well. I haven't had a problem. This pair here is got a 20 round cuff, heels, toes, and cuffs. Yeah, heels, toes, and cuffs are knit out of, it is something from Red Heart from a long time ago. It had like aloe in it. I don't know. It was like a nylon wool blend. And this green and orange stripes it was a miscellaneous. It was something given to me by someone, and it didn't have a tag on it, and it's pretty soft, and it knit up these like pretty like stripes. Again, fish lips kiss heel, rounded toe, 20 row cuff. These were knit on size 1 DPNs, because sometimes I like to change things up. This pair is knit out of, again, this is a yarn that was given to me by someone. And it was, these are, I believe, the jelly roll pattern. It's got your heel flap and gusset, rounded toe, and it has like this rounded, excuse the dog hair. I have 3 dogs and they're furry and shed everywhere. This one has the rounded cuff. It's super easy pattern, rounded toe. Super quick to knit up if you need a pair of shorties. So there's those. The next pair is another pair of shorties. They have these are just something that I made up. The yarn is Desert Vista Dye Works, and this colorway, I believe, is If They Kill Carol from The Walking Dead. Her color line or colorway series. She's no longer dyeing yarn anymore, so if you can find it in a D-stash, that's probably the only place you'll be able to get it from now on. This is an afterthought heel, and it's just some scraps I had from somewhere. These were like super shorties because I wanted to try. They just have a little round, there's no ribbing in the cuff. They fit pretty well. They've held up. The next pair is also from Desert Vista Dye Works. In her Strawberry Shortcake colorway, there is a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Looks like a 10 round cuff, rounded toe, your normal leg. I can put them on a blocker so you can kind of see them a little better. So these are cute. I had a little bleeding from the red in some of the spots, but it's not too bad. I don't know. I think it was me. I think I used too warm of water when I was blocking them. Outside of that, they're not really pilly or anything. The yarn wears really well. The colors have held up. So there's that pair. Here's another pair from Desert Vista Dye Works. These are If They Kill Rick, I believe. It's one of her Walking Dead colorways. It's got a really long cuff. When I first started knitting socks, and before I figured out like the length and stuff that I liked, I used to knit a really long leg. I have no idea why. These were knit toe up, rounded toe. Again, blueberry waffles, so you can see the difference in this one has stripes with the blueberry waffle pattern, and then the others is a speckle with the blueberry waffle, so you can see kind of the difference that the texture gives both. I like it in both. I think it just gives it a little something. And then here is just your regular stockinette on the bottom of the foot. Yeah, and this one has an Eye of Partridge heel. I knit these a really long time ago. The heel, I believe, is in Knit Picks, like Stroll in their, I think it's just black is the colorway. It's like a 20 round cuff. Again, like I said, I used to knit a really long leg. I don't know why. I think I was just trying to use up as much of the yarn as possible. So these are really squishy. and fun. I think that is all my Desert Vista dye works. I have a few more skeins, but I don't have it knit up. I have another one from Turtle Pearl. 20 round cuff, rounded toe, afterthought heel. This pair, I used to knit toe up. And so this pair, I believe, was knit toe up as well. And as you can see, it's got a really long leg. I was trying to like use up that yarn. This light pink right here should be white. Again, it was me, I'm pretty sure. I used too warm of water or something when I soaked them after they were done, when I blocked them. And so the white turned pink. This colorway was, I think, their Snow White colorway. It's from a really long time ago. And then as you can see, I did an afterthought heel to not break up the stripes. Like I said, super long leg. I don't know why I used to do that. Now I'm down to about a 60 row leg. Like a 20, somewhere between a 10 and a 20 round cuff. Depends on how I'm feeling. And then a 60 row leg. And then I'm not sure on the foot. Those are, like I said, Turtle Pearl, and they're out of Canada. This pair here is the pair, I'm sure everybody's knit at least one pair of these. This is always on Ravelry's like top page or socks or top page. It is the Hermione's Everyday Socks. I believe I've knit this pattern twice. It gives some nice texture. I'm not really a fan of yarns if you see like the pooling. I'm not really a big fan when they pool really bad. So I like to, when I can tell it's gonna pool, I like to do a textured pattern. So that, as you can see, this one's the Hermione's. I think I knit these two pattern. I knit them toe up. And it has the Eye of Partridge heel. As you can see, the little decoration there. And I knit a pretty long leg. This is knit out of Patton's, some of that stretch yarn. They have held up over time. Like I thought, because they had like this elastic stuff in them or this stretch stuff, that they wouldn't hold up. But they've held up. These have been also through the washer and the dryer. So yeah. This pair here is, I believe it was Premier Yarns. My kids called them the ugly Christmas sweater socks. There's like a 20 round cuff. Looks like an afterthought heel, rounded toe. I knit these toe up. A really long leg. They're kind of fun. It's this, I don't know how to explain Premier yarn. I think it's like a cotton yarn. I don't know, it's really soft. They've worn really well. The color's not fading. They've been through the washer. They've been through the dryer. Yeah, and they wear pretty well. They don't, even though they're not wool, they don't like shrink and get all weird when you're wearing them on your feet. So I knit those. These were knit toe up, magic loop. For a long time, I knit toe up magic loop. I learned how to knit socks on 9-inch circulars, then learned magic loop, and then forever I knit everything on magic loop. And then I recently went back to 9-inch circulars, and I just kind of go back and forth. Sometimes I knit with DPNs. It's just as my skills as a knitter have gotten better. Sometimes I just change it up because I like to. Sometimes I knit. I think I've knit a couple pair. I don't have them here. I have a pair that I knit my oldest son years ago when I was learning to knit. They are Republic of Wool or something. And I knit them toe up with like a Fleagle heel. It was a whole learning thing. I have not knit the Fleagle heel since. But I knit those toe up on DPNs, I think. But it's been a long time. So I have a few pairs of socks. Like my first 3 pair that I ever knit, I don't have. But I know who has them. My mom has the first pair I ever knit. One of my sisters has one of the other pairs, and then my niece has another pair. So, and those were all knit out of the patent stretch yarn. So this is knit out of Lorna's Laces, if I remember correctly. These were knit toe up, fish lips kiss heel. This looks like a 1x1 twisted rib cuff in the Cougars colorway. I think I have another skein of this. This was my son's high school colors. It's this crimson and gray, and this was their high school colors. So, yeah, these were knit toe up. I haven't actually knit a pair of socks toe up in a long time. I've been knitting cuff down. This pair here is another pair from Opal. This is from the Love Story collection. I don't remember the color, but my normal 20 row cuff, fish lips kiss heel, rounded toe, and I believe these were knit toe up as well. They have like some little texture. There's some little like black texture in the stripes. I love Opal yarn. It's really durable. You can wash it, dry it. It can take a beating, and the colors don't fade, and it holds up. This pair of socks is also a Hermione's Everyday sock in a yarn that was Pooly. It is by a yarn dyer that you can no longer get. It is Gnome Acres. And I cannot remember. It was a Halloween colorway. It's got some sparkle in it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Maybe if I hold it back here. Yeah, there it is. And as you can see, like here on the foot, how it's pooling. So I knit it with some texture. It's got like the 20 round cuff. I believe this one looks like it did a 1x1. These were knit toe up, rounded toe. Hermione's Everyday. I have partridge heel, just like the pattern calls for. And this was some kind of Halloween colorway. I know my color is getting blown out, but there is some purple in here. There's purple, black, orange, green. These are fun. A nice texture, like I said. When I get a pooly yarn, I like to knit a little bit of texture because this pooling drives me crazy. But on the bottom of the foot here, I'm okay with it because nobody's going to see that. That's usually down in your shoe. And these, again, they were knit toe up, size 1, magic loop. Let's see. This pair here is knit out of it's a shorty. It's the Jelly Roll something. Whatever the Jelly Roll pattern is. I will try and find it. It's another pair. Rounded toe. These were knit toe up. No, these were not. These were knit cuff down. I have partridge heel. Rounded toe. This is a, oh my goodness, I got this yarn when I first started knitting. It is some kind of bamboo cotton. They're heavy, but they feel lightweight. Like when you put them on, they don't like make your feet all hot and sweaty and gross. Let's see what else I got here. I got, let's see, 6, 7, 9 more pair. This is going to be a longer episode. I don't remember the yarn dyer for these. It was something coffee related. As you can tell, they look kind of Starbucksy. These were knit toe up, rounded toe. Fish lips kiss heel. 20 round 2x2 cuff. Yeah, and this, as you can tell, you can see my cuffs are starting to get a little shorter. It was when I started to learn where I wanted my cuffs to land and where my leg and how long. You can see the little lines here. This is when I was knitting on Magic Loop. I wish I could remember the yarn. I'm pretty sure it's linked in my Ravelry page, though. I knit these a long time ago. Those have held up as well. This pair, oh, it's got a little bit of pilling going on, is the Aloha Blue. She has fiber and yarn on her website. And these are in her Carolina Panthers colorway. That is my football team. We're not playing that great right now, but hey, it happens. These have a fish lips kiss heel, rounded toe. These were lit, I can tell because of the line, magic loop. 20 round cuff. I love these. I love the blue and the gray. I actually have fiber in this colorway from Aloha Blue to eventually spin up. So maybe I will knit another pair of socks out of my hand spun from her in this colorway. The heel is knit pixtrel in black. Okay. Oh, sorry, I have to reach over. Okay, here's another pair. I don't remember the pattern. This is also knit. Don't mind my wheat ends not woven in. This is another pair knit in that Patton's stretch yarn. I don't remember why. I think I got it really good deal at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby something years ago. When I first started knitting. This is before I started buying indie dyed yarn. So I had a bunch of this commercial. This is that Patton's, yeah, knit stripes. This is the first time I ever knit cables on a sock. I think the sock pattern is basic cable sock or something like that. Nothing too fancy, just a little something something. And it's got like it looks like a 2x2 rib. And then it's got the cables. Super stretchy, as you can see. It's held up. This is a heel flapping gusset. I don't remember if I knit these toe up or I'm pretty sure I knit these cuff down because it doesn't have a cuff. It just starts straight into the cable and goes straight down. These have been through the washer and the dryer. They're hanging on. You can see the difference between the one I just stuck on the blocker and then this one that's hanging out here. It looks really small and like, oh my gosh, that's not going to fit anyone. But once you get it on the blocker and get it on, it stretches out. The colors have held up. I think in my stash, I have a few more. I have a purple colorway and I have like a green and brown colorway. I still have a couple more skeins of this stuff left from a long time ago. This pair is again, like I said, I've knit blueberry waffle a bunch of times. This is in this is the actual pattern. This is in a DK weight yarn. It's linked in my Ravelry. I don't remember the color or the company. It's got a short cuff, blueberry waffle, and you can see like this is in a DK weight, like all the texture, rounded toe. This looks like an eye of partridge heel. Maybe just a regular, yeah, that might be a regular heel flapping gusset. These are pretty warm. They're chunky, thick, kind of house socks. I don't think I've ever worn them in shoes because they're pretty thick. Then we have another pair. This is knit out of, I think it was like Panda Cotton. I think was the company. I think. It's another commercial one. It was bamboo cotton. This one has a fish lips kiss heel. This was knit top down, I think. I'm not sure of the pattern. It's in my Ravelry. It's like a brown, like a coffee color, and it's got some nice, you know, little texture just to kind of break up the knitting. Rounded toe. This was knit magic loop. Yeah. They've been through the washer, the dryer. They've held up. I knit these a long time ago. So there's that. Then these here are 20 round cuff, afterthought heel, rounded toe, 9-inch circulars, top down, and this colorway is called No One Knits Like Gaston. Oh, it was from Peach something fibers. I don't think she dyes anymore, but it's in. I will link it in my in the description box from my Ravelry, and it's got some sparkle. I just recently finished these this year. I don't know why it took me forever, but it did. It shouldn't have, but it did. So yeah, those are cute. And I guess I washed them correctly. The red didn't like bleed anywhere that I can tell. They've been washed, dried. Still hanging out. And the last 3 pair I have are all from Kirby Werby. The first pair is the Georgia socks by, it's Tracy of the Grocery Girls. I knit these a long time ago. I think they're the Georgia socks. I believe I have an afterthought heel, rounded toe. Let's see if you can see the texture on these. So I knit these to pattern. Here, that's probably easier this way. I knit these to pattern so you can see. It's got this pretty lace down the front. This is out of Kirby Werby, and it was a purple, and it was like a one-of-a-kind. So sorry if you like it. Can't get it anymore. So that's what the back looks like. It's just your regular knit, and it's got some sparkle. And then so you can see it has the patterning on the right and the left. So you can tell which one goes where. They're little shorties. They're super cute. That was my first like jump into lace on socks, and I struggled a little bit, but by the time they were done, it was great. I finished this pair recently. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen them. These are Frozen Farmers Heine, and the light bluish purple on the top is called Samantha. They have an Eye of Partridge heel, rounded toe. They're pretty long. I wanted to get this repeat of these awesome colors. These are not sitting very nice on this blocker. But like I said, I got a big cuff, long heel. I wanted to use these stripes. I love it. I love this orange. It's like, it's getting blown out in here, but it's really more of a peach color. Cherie on the sparkle base as well. Kirby Werby. I have a few other of hers to knit up. She always has some fun colorways, like that one is named Frozen Farmers Heine off of Frozen, and then the top was Samantha. If you know, you know. This pair is knit from the Kirby Werby Schitt's Creek Advent Calendar from, I believe, 2020. And yeah. So these were knit magic loop. Magic loop size 0, and I knit them, they match. I knit them top down. The gray for the heel and the toe is Lolo Did It Naked Hippo, and I knit these size 1 because I was just trying to see if I liked the gauge, and I knit these 2 at a time. So that is all I have. That is all of my crazy socks. This is not all of the socks that I've knit. I have a few other pairs that I've knit. I have like 10, maybe 12 other pair. They've been gifted to other people. My sister gets socks all the time. She gets shell socks. You'll see those in my podcast all the time. I'll have a pair and I'll be like, these are shell socks. So a lot of times I like with some of my hippos, I will knit myself a pair of socks and then I'll knit her a pair of socks because I can get 2 adult pairs of socks out of it to use up the yarn. And then the leftovers go in my sock yarn blanket. I have a mitered square blanket. I actually have 2 mitered square blankets going. And so they'll go in there and the squares will go in there. And yeah, so that is my crazy sock whip pile. As you can see, I have a crazy pile of socks here. And I'm knitting more. I cast on another pair this week. I'll probably cast on another pair. I'm almost done with a pair for my sister now. another pair of shell socks. So I'll probably cast on another pair for her. I have another pair cast on. I like to knit socks. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later.